Hey guys, this is Jennifer with Oil and Tell, and today I want to go over the reference guidebooks. I get lots of questions from you guys just wanting to know how to interpret the information. What does it mean if the oil that's suggested is underlined? What if it's in bold print? So I just want to go through that with you briefly so that you can become better educated on how to use the oils and where to apply those. So the first one we're going to talk about is the Quick Reference Guidebook. Hopefully everyone has a copy of this. I do encourage everyone on my team to gift this book to someone that has purchased the starter kit through them. I feel like it is a have-to-have resource. So if you don't have this book, feel free to message me. I buy these in bulk and my cost is $10. So I am happy to mail one to you. I really feel like it's something that you need to have in order to learn how to use oils correctly. I'm not going to go through the entire book, obviously, but I just want to highlight a few things and just point a couple things out to you. If you'll go ahead and turn to page 34 and 35, the VitaFlex Point information is great. I encourage you to spend just a little bit of time reading up on that. There is a lot of information that supports and shows that if you do apply the recommended oils onto different parts of your hands and feet, that it does enhance the benefits of the oil and helps you to make those improvements and corrections much faster. So spend a little bit of time looking over that section and start getting into the habit of using those VitaFlex points when you're applying oil to your body. The next page, on page 36, is a picture of the ear. This is actually where you can tackle lots of emotions. So if you struggle with depression, anxiety, fear, things like that, then there's lots and lots of benefits to putting the oils onto the outside rim of the ear. So take a look at that if the emotions are something that you're dealing with. The rest of the section before you get to the ailments is basically just scientific, kind of information on the oils, how they work in the body. It talks about the diffuser, how the diffuser is way more than just making your house smell good. Lots of good benefits to that. So spend a little bit of time reading that. Obviously not in one setting, but maybe just spend 5 or 10 minutes a day kind of flipping through and trying to just educate yourself a little bit more on how these great oils work inside your body. So let's say I wake up and I'm not feeling good. I go to the doctor and I'm diagnosed with strep. I'm going to come home. I'm going to look through my book. I'm going to, obviously these are alphabetical. I'm going to come to the part where it talks about strep throat. And I'm just going to kind of walk you through the process that I go through when I'm looking up information. I look up information every day, whether it be for my family or for yours, if you have questions that you post on Oil and Tell. So this is kind of how I decipher which oils to use, how to use them, and that sort of thing. So under strep throat, the first oil that's listed is Thieves. And I just want to point out to you that Thieves is underlined. And anytime an oil is underlined, that represents a blend. So a blend is obviously 2 or more oils that Young Living has put together and created. And you've got lots of blends in your starter kit. You've got Valor, Joy, Panaway, Thieves, Peace and Calming. So anytime it's underlined, it's always going to be a blend. Now, you're going to notice that some of the oils listed are in bold and some are in more of a grayed out, kind of lighter font. The oils that are listed in bold are going to be their primary recommendations. Those are the oils that they recommend that you use first if you have them. If not, you can certainly go down to the secondary list. Doesn't mean that those won't work. It just means that if you have one that's in the primary list, that they do advise you to start with that first. So when I'm looking at oils and I'm looking through the book, I'm going to start with the first oil, and if I have Thieves, I'm definitely going to use that. I just want to point out, though, that next to the word Thieves, there is a little small T, A, and I, and the book is telling me how to use Thieves. So the T stands for topical. I would use Thieves topically. I would put that on my feet. I would probably dilute Thieves and lemon, rub that on my swollen lymph nodes. I would put it on my spine because we know a lot of times viruses and germs and things like that camp out in our spines. The A is aromatic, so I'm going to diffuse Thieves. I'm probably going to have that right there on my nightstand, and I'm going to diffuse Thieves around the clock. The I stands for internal, meaning I can take that internally. I could either make the thieves tea. I could use the thieves spray. I could put a drop or two in a spoonful of honey. I could also make a capsule. So lots of different options. But let's say I'm out of thieves. Let's say I forgot to order it. I don't have any. I'm going to go to the oil that's listed second, and that's geranium. But next to geranium, it only has a T and an A. And so that's going to tell me that geranium is one that they're recommending I not ingest, that I just focus on topical and diffusing applications. So that's really kind of how you look at the oils suggested in the book. And so really you just, like I said, you start with the first one, you work your way down. It's great to have options. Sometimes you are going to try an oil and maybe not get the results that you're needing. And so you just keep going down that list and using oils that are listed until you get the results that you're needing. So this is a really, really great, helpful book. The next book I want to show you is the larger reference guidebook, and I'm going to just point out the differences. This one is issues and ailments only. This one has all the issues and ailments, but the first half of the bigger book is a breakdown of the oils individually. And I love, love, love this book. I feel like it helps me to utilize my oils more efficiently. For example, let's say you purchase cedar wood because you have a child that struggles with focus and you've read that cedar wood is great to add into the focus blend. And you're using that, but every day you're looking through your oils and you see cedar wood and you don't use it, and you wonder, I wonder what else I could use cedar wood for. And that's where this big book comes into play. So the very first part, the first section of the larger book is the individual oil breakdown. So I can search by cedar wood, and it's going to tell me everything I can do with cedar wood. So now not only can I just use it for my child's focus blend, I now see that it's very calming. It helps with anger. It's great for cellulite, hair loss, urinary infections. So you can see that now that really opens up a whole nother, world for me. I've got lots and lots of things I can do with that cedar wood. So having the large reference book is great because it really does allow you to have that additional information on each individual oil, which I feel like is super, super important. I love having both. This smaller one is great to throw in my purse. It's great to travel with. But I do find that I like the information from the larger book, again, on the individual oils. It's extremely helpful. The next book that I use is the Essential Oils Pocket Reference Book. This book is definitely more scientific than the reference guide, and a lot of times there will be different information. So I actually look at both for any issue that I'm having. So if I have strep throat, I'm going to look it up in the reference guide, and I'm going to also look it up in the pocket reference book. A lot of times it's going to give different information. It doesn't mean that one is better than the other. I just like having as much information that I can have. This book is going to have a lot of different recipes. In fact, when you're looking through the reference guidebook, it will often refer you to this book. It will say, for this recipe or for this blend, check in this book. So it's great. It's, like I said, it's way more scientific. It also does a breakdown at the very beginning of the oils individually, so that you can see, the different uses. And so it's just a really great resource to have. I'm not saying that you have to have all three, but I definitely think having, one and even two is really good. I love that we have Oil and Tell. I think it's a great community for us to get together and share and ask questions and post testimonies. But there probably will be a time when you don't have access to a computer, or you're just not able to get online or to even do a search. And so I think knowing and understanding how to use these resources is key in becoming a good oiler. So I hope this information was helpful.